of that budget payment that was going towards the truck, and that truck payment would now become a loan payment, and our budget would essentially remain the same also. So we wouldn't really change anything. We'd have essentially the same amount going out now, and we do meet that obligation. So for the roll members here, there's also no intention or no likely need to consider raising rates.
Taxes and fees are always a touchy thing. Nobody likes to see them in a good time. We certainly don't like to see them now, and that was not, and never was any of our intentions to do that. What do you think?
I like the idea. I think it's time for a new place for these guys that dedicate their time and I guess basically risk their lives to save our property and our family, and it's going to be a nice addition to the town.
I'm especially tickled with the location. It's going to be right on 28. It's going to have good visibility. I guess besides the practical part of this, I think it speaks volumes about that the community cares, and we're trying to have a good facility, and it certainly can't hurt our community image.
Leroy, this won't, this grant and stuff won't include the landing zone, right?
You're absolutely right. It was our original intent that we would have a landing zone for helicopters in the back. We certainly have ample room for it. We don't have ample money for it. When we started cutting things, that was one of the first things to go. Now, that's not to say that we're not going to have that, but it means that we won't have it right away.
Until we can afford to pour the concrete back there, we can land it in that field. It'll be a designated landing zone back behind the firehouse either way, with concrete or not.
Okay. I was going to ask if that was possible. Okay. Thank you.
Well, I know last night it was brought up that possibly some fundraisers could be contributed towards that too.
Sure. And that's one thing that Dwight was looking at really hard. He wanted to preserve the 6 bays. We wanted to have the 6 bays. Now, one of them's going to be small. It's going to be for a pickup. But he wanted to preserve the integrity of the 6 bays, and he wanted to be able to have a decent meeting room, community room, so that they can put on some fundraisers there.
Right, that's
and I
good.
think he's done a good job of that.
And that's also a training space, then.
Yes. Another thing that we're planning on this, I touched on this last night, we have been donated a extremely large generator. It doesn't have a lot of output, but it's extremely big. It's not portable at all. We are planning on putting a pad back there in the village design so that we can hook this generator up. We'll have propane heat so that should we have a major power outage in the town, this will be one building that could be used to take care of people, at least on a short-term basis. And we don't have that anywhere in town right now.
Who did that come from?
It comes from the state. Surplus property, right?
Is that where it came from?
Is that the one up in Quantitat?
Yes. That's a moose. Doesn't put out a lot of power, but it's big. We're not going to have anybody walking off with it, I can tell you that.
Don't be surprised.
Well, maybe
Is it possible that there might be another grant to help pay for the concrete in the future through like emergency management systems? Is someone constantly watching for those monies that come available through SEMA or FEMA or any other emergency systems?
Well, I go to MRPC, their meetings, at least I went this month because it's happening tonight, but they are always watching out for grants. There's also a possibility of a federal grant USD Rural Development. They do give grants. I've been told that they have large grants, but generally what I'm hearing is they're small grants, and that would be fit right in with what we would be trying to do. I honestly don't know whether they're monitoring FEMA or not. I know they're monitoring the state emergency management, and they may both be together. But yeah, I know there's grants out there. We just got to be able to find them. But I'm tickled the way that the community has come together on this one. I think this is a great statement for our community.
Who's gonna build it? If we get this grant, who's gonna build it?
That will be put out to bid. That is a requirement of the grant.
For the contractors?
Yes, that will probably cast a pretty wide net. As we did with our architects, engineers, we actually sent out 52 requests for qualifications for engineers. And that's a pretty wide net. And we got 27 of them that responded within the time frame we needed. So that tells me that there's a lot of people out there looking for work. And I expect to have the same results whenever we advertise for contractors. Have we run the question bowl dry here? I don't have anything else unless the council has any comments. Trying to run for re-election. Well, I guess if there's no other questions, we'll call the meeting to close. But certainly I'm glad you came out, and this is encouraging.